Hey, what's up? This is Matt McClure. Is this on? I want to make sure this video's on. It's kind of funny. What do we got here? It's on. Oh, goodness. So I'm just chilling by the window right now, and you're probably like, what? Why is this guy making a video by the window? I like plants, and that's my justification. Alright, so this video is on decision making techniques, and there's a few things I want to go over, but I think the main concept here, I think there's a huge misdiagnosis on these kind of techniques. If you look on the internet, say you type this in, right? You're going to find a lot of people talking about decision making and how it's this analytical thing and you do it for business and anything and da da da. And well, people forget it's really about the moment. Decision making is really about the moment. But then to go further beyond that, our moments are really about our thoughts, and our thoughts are really about like our past thoughts and our habitual thinking. So I go to say that decision making is really about habits, because the kind of decisions we make are based on a habitual process. Now, habits. What kind of habits are we talking about? I think it's really about our state of being. A lot of people, when they're making decisions, don't really realize that we make decisions based on our state. And our state, is dictated by our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings. All of this, what we're focusing on. That's where our state is, right? So say you're in a low state. I'm talking, you're upset, you're angry. Your decision making is not going to be like it would be if you're in a calm, cool, collected, awesome state, right? I mean, this is common sense. We can talk about this, but I think the main thing is we get lost in this process. The key is to be aware of the moment all the time if you want to make your decisions. And I like to look at the moment in a sense it's like we live life and every moment's important. We should be thankful for it. And for example, there's a whole concept of low states, high states. Gratitude, being grateful for something, is a very high state versus the lower state like being angry or rah. It's common sense if you look at it that way. So I challenge you that the higher state you're at, say one of just appreciation, love, joy, being peace, like just having this no problem attitude all the time, being in this kind of state will ultimately allow you to create better decisions in your life if you learn how to effectively create this state for yourself. You have to know how to effectively do this. And like I said before, is that it's based on habits. Everything is based on the habit. So the main thought should be, if I want to effectively control my state on a regular basis, I have to do it in the moment, yes. And one part of the moment is being aware that you're in the moment, you have this kind of control in your life. Usually we just forget that we have control and we just let an emotional state take over. And it might be the wrong kind of emotional state, like I was saying. So to effectively control one's habit, we have to have a methodology of doing this over time, especially when it has to do with states and emotions, because it's not like you're doing something physically. It's internally. It's different from like, oh, I'm going to try losing weight by eating better. And okay, you can easily see a meal. There's a meal there. You can see what meal that is. Like, oh, I can't eat this crazy chili cheese dog with all kinds of junk on it and whatever. That's not going to be good for me. Like, when it comes to our inside, we don't even necessarily always know what's going to be good for us, except these higher states of being, like being loved, being happy, all that. Like that's where we want to be anyway. We want to live in a state of bliss, right? So how do you effectively form a habit? I know I said that, but how do you effectively form a habit of it? Here's, I think, one of the best techniques that you can actually do to really make things happen. I think the first thing is to know what you want. You have to know what you want out of life and why you want it. It's like there's certain things you want to be, do, and have in your lifetime. It's like we all have our idealized life in our minds, and to some extent we can create that. I mean, I don't see why you can't create every dream that you've ever had in your life. And that's one reason why I'm doing this blog and I'm talking. It's because, I think people forget that. They're like, they accept less than what they could have, not in a materialistic standpoint, but more like they set limits on themselves and they set their beliefs low and they aim low and they get low rather than aiming high. Aim for that pipe dream in the sky, right? you can actually hit it. And there's always the concept of shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll probably end up hitting a star, right? It's a great philosophy, I think, because no matter what, you set your goal a little higher. Even if you hit less than that, it's way better than setting your goal low. You will always have a better result. So, knowing what you want to be, do, and have, and I suggest you take out a sheet of paper and write this down. This can be great. Write down the things. Make sure you know what you want out of life. And then the more important reason is why. And I think why is what fuels our desire, in a sense. Make sure it's very important to you, right? The why has to be incredible. I know I used to focus more on me, but I realized that, life's more about, life's much bigger than me. It's not just about me and stuff. So having a good reason for everything you do, maybe you might want to help people more. You might want to provide for your family more. And it's always good to put as many golden nuggets of reasons why backing up what you want to be doing have, because you won't have the energy to make the difference. For example, if you want to effectively control your state and make better decisions, because you realize that the only thing keeping you from what you want in life are your decisions. Once you realize this, you're like, wow, this is a very important subject. Probably the most important thing I could ever do for myself. So definitely you want to put the time in writing what you want to do, be, do, and have, and why you want to do it. And make sure it's a very strong reason. I think number 2 out of these really is to identify what patterns of habits are preventing you from getting what you want. That's number 2 on the list. Find out what's stopping you from getting that idealized dream that you want in your life. Like, what do you want to have? Like, be that. Because that's the only reason, really, I think, to try to make better decisions is because you're trying to get better outcomes, right? So, identify your habitual barriers and blocks. It might be that you have a problem with staying up too late and getting things done. You can't wake up the next day and get stuff done. Or maybe alcohol is a problem for you. Or maybe eating is a problem for you. You don't want to lose weight. Like, it could be anything. It could be something work related. Like, I want to make more money, but I just don't know how. It could be something in your mind. Like, I always feel uncomfortable in this situation, or anything you think in your life that is some kind of barrier preventing you from getting what you want. Because I guarantee you know what it is. Because we live in a life that's a habit based, and it's cyclic. You'll run into the same things you'll do, and you'll realize that decision I made didn't give me the best results, and if I would have done this, it would have been better. So instead of having to do that again and again and again and again, why not find out that better? And like I said, it's about your habitual state. So what we have to do after we identify our barriers is we want to write down their polar opposites of what we want to do better. So you write down what you really want to achieve. Like, why can't it be this way? Like, say I want to get up every morning and go running because I know that'll help me get a 6-pack or something, right? The moment you start doing that opposite and making that the habit pattern, like you wake up and do that, that's going to automatically put you in the state of mind where it's going to be a lot easier to start doing that on a regular basis. Thus, you'll start getting the result, and it'll be an easy decision. It won't be like, oh, I have all this stuff like reasons why I shouldn't go run in the morning. There's all these reasons and justifications, and it ultimately affects my decision making because my ego is like, I want to stay in bed and be comfortable. But your true self, if you really going out and making everything happen for yourself, really wants to be going running in the morning because they know it's going to affect everything from your state of mind, like how you feel about yourself, the energy you have. I mean, so many things. Your self-respect, your self-worth, all this stuff. Very important stuff. So once you've done this, I think to make it a habit, you have to physically do things. But some of these things aren't physical, like having a no-problem attitude, or having really amazing peace of mind, or just feeling happy all the time, I think the best thing to do this is you almost trick your mind by you do a meditation, or an affirmation meditation, I think would be a good way to call it. And this is where you basically, you center yourself, you have this list of things you want, basically, in the sense of I'm looking for this in my life, or I know I can be peaceful and not get upset about the little things, don't sweat the small stuff. You want to phrase these things in a way that say that you already are those things. So say I run every single morning, right? Or I'm happy that I'm now in the best shape of my life. Whatever it is, I'm now financially free and I have everything I could ever want in life. Use these states of mind, and what you're going to do is you're going to get quiet in your room. You can sit, you can lay down, whatever. Best thing to do is do this in the morning, right when you wake up, even before you go to bed. And I want you to state your intentions of what you want to be better at and act as if you already have them. So you want to feel like, I already have this, and repeat it. Every time you say something, it's like, I am financially free and everything in my life is awesome. Say it and really feel it. Repeat it a bunch of times. Time yourself 20 minutes. Do it for 20 minutes. Do it for 10 minutes. Even if you do it for 5 minutes. That's going to be amazing. Actually, just do it for 5 minutes. But that 5 minutes could change your life, because now you're going to have the belief in your, you have the belief in your mind and the confidence in yourself that you can actually do these things, because you've told yourself enough times that you can do it. And if you felt it and really meant it when you said it, you'll really, really, I think, experience things at a different level, because it'll go down as a habit in your mind. You'll change it, and next time you need to make a decision that's pretty important, you'll already be in that state. Like me, I could never yell at someone and get angry at them. Like there's nothing that a person could do to make me upset at them. They could burn down my house, and I'm not gonna be like, I hate you, I'm gonna sue you, and that kind of stuff. I just think it's so ridiculous. And burning down the house, that's a pretty ridiculous example. The whole point is, though, don't sweat the small stuff at all, no matter how big it gets, because nothing's ever as big as we make it. It never is. It's all on us, I think, that we have these attachments to certain things. Like, say my house did burn down, and I blamed somebody else for it because they left the gas on or something and it blew up. When we put all that blame and all that kind of stuff, it's not going to help anything. I think it's all about keeping yourself balanced. And when you do this and you have confidence and get rid of the limits in your life and really focus on the intentions of, the positive experience you want to have, and make that the habit of mind, the most thoughts you think right there, I think you're really going to make a huge difference on your decision making. I think it'll really make a difference. So try utilizing this technique of finding out what you want and really focusing on the aspect of why you're getting what you want, or why you want it. It's funny me saying that. But then finding that polar opposite of what's holding you back. And then affirming you can be whatever you want and why you can do that. Like just having that self-confidence, like I said, getting rid of the limits and really placing yourself in a state of mind where you can optimize yourself all the time, even when you aren't being aware of it. Like you're naturally going to do the right things just by believing in yourself and changing how your subconscious mind works. So that's my video for right now, and that's making, better decisions with these kind of techniques. So I hope this was very helpful for you. And, check out my blog, thewellnessmat.com, and let's get your life rocking, man. I'll talk to you later.